All right, guys, I had to make a quick video. Bitcoin just hit $70,000. Hasn't hit we have not hit $70,000 Bitcoin in about 4 or 5 months. Definitely big stuff happening. A lot of this, I believe personally, is because Trump had that Madison Square Garden thing last night. All the polls, if you look, they pretty much have Trump up in every swing state for the most part. Any swing state that matters, you pretty much have Trump up. Even USA Today, Donald Trump is in a strong position. Doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. So I do think right now you're seeing strong support for Donald Trump, which means strong support for Bitcoin and traditional markets. I just saw an article, too, that we have record ETF inflows on Bitcoin. Again, I want to bring that back. I know there's really no science behind this, but I really do think it's because Trump is doing so well in the polls, and really a Trump victory. Most people who are even kind of like not big on Trump think it's about a 60% chance. It's probably more like a 70% chance if you watch that Trump last night at Madison Square Garden. Is just, for him to be able to do that, bring in like 100,000 people in New York City. New York City is, try to take Trump down. There he is, bringing 100,000 people, Madison Square Garden. Just absolutely breathtaking what he was able to do. So this is it, guys. This is kind of what we've been waiting for with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now, what we've been saying, we're not going to get that alt season until Bitcoin makes it back to all-time highs. Then the money is going to start flowing into altcoins. But regardless, you're seeing a lot of altcoins doing very, very well. Solana's back up to 177. I saw, look at Dogecoin. The Dogecoin is even more of an indicator on how Trump is going to do in the elections than Bitcoin. Elon Musk, totally involved with the Trump administration. We said that last time. Dark MAGA. Elon Musk was speaking last night at Madison Square Garden. And you're seeing people just know it. If Trump gets elected, Dogecoin, it could even overtake Bitcoin in popularity. It's outperforming everything right now. Dogecoin essentially going back to where it was. Before we got this big dump after we hit all-time high of $73,000. So overall, a lot of your other altcoins kind of lackluster. XRP 52, Cardano 55. Cardano 35. Really all the other altcoins that aren't like really getting pumped right now and really being hyped are just kind of waiting for alt season. I always know this. I know it's going to turn so many people off. And what people are going to do is they're going to get out of their altcoin. They're going to get into Bitcoin. They're going to buy Dogecoin after it's already pumped 80%. And then the minute they do that, their altcoin like Cardano is going to start pumping. That's pretty much what I've seen over the last 2 or 3 cycles, or the last 2 cycles that I've been in for crypto. All the articles right now talking about how Bitcoin hit $70,000. Bitcoin hit $70,000 amid huge ETF inflow. And now, of course, we're back down to $69,940. We're essentially at $70,000 right now. Dogecoin, you're seeing a lot of Dogecoin articles right now. I had a bunch of Dogecoin from a couple years ago, and I bought a bunch more over the winter. Got a pretty good deal on it, so I'm doing really well on Dogecoin. Dogecoin drops 10%, outperforming on Trump popularity as Bitcoin nears $70,000. I'm really, I talked about this before. I think meme coins are going to be some of the top performers, and I think Dogecoin, it's not too late with Dogecoin. All contingent on if Trump gets elected. If for some reason Trump doesn't get elected president, I would say there's no future for Dogecoin. I would say like your Dogecoin bet right now is based off if Trump gets elected. In fact, I probably will. I'm almost positive Trump's going to get elected, but I'll be watching the elections, of course, and if it turns out Kamala's going to win, I'll probably just dump all my Dogecoin. I'll be honest with you, because Elon Musk cannot. The Democrats, if they get elected, are basically going to try to destroy Elon Musk, and that's kind of why I think that Dogecoin just won't do all that well if Kamala gets elected. But you're seeing a lot of articles right now talking about Dogecoin, and we've known about this on this channel for the last year, just talking about, hey, look, you got to be in Dogecoin because he's got the Twitter thing going. He's in with Donald Trump, and if Trump wins the election, he's probably going to give Elon Musk a major position on the cabinet. So we got Dogecoin pumping. Cardano, I haven't seen a ton of Cardano news lately, although I haven't really been looking all that much. Just busy with other stuff, but I saw this article. Cardano's next move: Charles Hoskinson teases a Nintendo emulator on Hydra. I want to put out a little warning to Charles Hoskinson on this one, as somebody who collects retro games. I collect all the old systems. I have all my old systems modded: Sega Saturn, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. I mean, I got all the systems and they're all modded. You don't want to be messing around with Nintendo emulators and ROMs, although I do have them. But the problem is, if you go mainstream with a Nintendo emulator, Nintendo's going to come after you. They look very poorly upon people using ROMs and emulators to play old Nintendo games. In fact, they're the one company that'll go after you. Sega won't go after you. PlayStation won't go after you. Atari won't go after you. But Nintendo pretty much will shut down anybody who's mainstream trying to push ROMs or emulators. So, interesting idea, but I would actually advise against putting an emulator on Hydra, unless there's something I'm missing here. I know the emulator isn't as bad as the ROMs. Really, what the ROMs are the copyrighted thing. But if you start messing around with an emulator, Nintendo will still come after you, especially if you're a big fish, and that could be some bad news for Cardano. So anyway, this is kind of just talk right now, just kind of a joke anyway. It doesn't really matter. But I just saw this article and I'm like, probably not a good idea to do that with a Nintendo emulator. All right, and we already said Donald Trump in a strong pole position, doesn't matter, blah, blah. I mean, essentially, if you look at Trump right now, he's pretty much up in all the swing states that matter. He may even win the popular. I mean, there's so much hype behind Donald Trump right now because Kamala Harris is such a dirtbag and the Biden administration did so much damage to this country. I really think I think there's a 50-50 shot Trump might win the popular vote. So we're going to monitor that. And I also saw that Crypto Ran was kind of talking about, what I've been talking about for the last year, or at least the last couple of months, just how a Donald Trump presidency is very important for altcoins. But Ran actually said something interesting this morning, just talking about how, we haven't had the election yet. Technically, it's still, it could go either way, but we think it's going to be Donald Trump. But the markets are telling us that Donald Trump's going to win the election. And like I've been talking about for the last couple months, that's the only reason that Bitcoin's pumping right now. Bitcoin has been waiting, and your altcoins have been waiting to figure out, is Trump going to win this election? Because if he doesn't win, it's going to suck. And I think 1 week out, all the investors, all the big wigs, all the whales are looking at the polls, and they're seeing that it looks like Trump's going to win. So it's time to get the frick into Bitcoin, because once he wins, we're off to the races and we're off to alt season. And I mean, we're going to have a good freaking time. So here's Rand talking about that a little bit. I just thought it was kind of interesting.
In Bitcoin. And we've just had the golden cross. So the charts are kind of saying to us that we're about to get a steep move up in Bitcoin. And this is where I think that we may actually be predicting the election results using the charts. Because as I said earlier, we are exactly a week away. We're a week and 1 day away from the US elections, the actual voting day of the US elections. And it looks to me like the charts are giving us a better indication of who the election winner is going to be than the actual polls. If I look at the polls are pretty much saying that there's a Donald Trump presidency almost imminent. And that would be amazing news for Bitcoin. And it's not only the Polymarkets polls, but it's pretty much wherever you look now in the polls, it feels like and it looks like Donald Trump may actually win. But just because the polls are telling you that Donald Trump may actually be the winner of the election doesn't mean that he's actually going to win the election. In fact, I want to show you something about all the previous elections, or some of the previous elections. So let's go back to the 2016 election. So this is the 2016 elections. Let me just zoom in for people who are watching this on their cell phones. Going into the election, Hillary Clinton was up 45.7 versus Donald Trump's 41.8. That was going into the 2016 elections. And what we know back then is that even though Hillary Clinton had such a wide lead, Donald Trump actually landed up winning the elections. Then the next time that this happened was on the 2020 elections, where in the 2020 elections, the spread was very, 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 very tight. And only at the very, very, very end did Biden come out victorious. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that the winner of the election, as per the betting markets or the probabilities, doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the winner of the election. And so anything can happen between now and next week when we actually vote.
I agree with that. Polls aren't always 100%, but I do think with Trump, we're feeling that sentiment. I mentioned this in my last video. You're seeing people going out to like Compton, Baltimore City, Chicago, talking to minorities who would never vote for Donald Trump, and a large percentage of them, especially with the black males, they're voting for Donald Trump. So unless there's like some cheating or something crazy comes out, I do think Trump's going to win. I do think that's why the markets are absolutely going crazy right now. And of course, it makes me excited because I think that's going to mean, it's not just that Donald Trump's going to get elected and, it's all about politics. I'm also care about crypto. I care about my Bitcoin. Look, you guys have been watching my channel. We've been holding this shift now for the last 2 or 3 years, waiting for this moment, waiting to get a bull run. And over the last couple months, it's been boring as hell. A lot of people have been flushed out of the market or just sold or just forgot about it. And here we are. Like, we're so close. We're so close coming up to the election that we're going to get that alt season. I mean, alt season is even more important than the elections. If Kamala Harris, as horrible as this sounds, if Kamala Harris came out a year ago and said, I'm going to do everything Bitcoin, I'm going to do everything to pump your bags, I want to see Cardano go to $1 million. Obviously, as much as I love Trump, I would vote for Kamala Harris because I really just want to make a lot of money in crypto. That's why we're all here. We want to make money in crypto. But that's not what's happening with the Democrats. That would never happen with them. They want complete control. They don't want anybody in crypto. They can't control you when you're in crypto. And we've already seen what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have done to crypto over the last 4 years, essentially attacking Gary Gensler, who's been the pit bull for the administration, essentially just suing everybody. So and of course, Kamala Harris will say whatever she needs to say to get elected, but there's no question that if Kamala Harris gets elected, they're going after Twitter, they're going after Cardano, they're going after your altcoins, they're going after Bitcoin, they're going after everything. That's just, we know that now. You can't even pretend that's not going to happen. No matter what they say, they're going after everything that we got. And we might have a little bit of a bull market. We might get $100,000 Bitcoin at some point. Or maybe we'll get a $2 Cardano or something, but it's going to significantly cut it. Whereas if you were going to make $1 million under Donald Trump in the bull run, you make $200,000 instead. I think it's going to be that big of a difference if Democrats get elected. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to make a quick video. Great night watching Bitcoin pretty much at $70,000. We could really be at a $73,000 or hovering around $73,000 right around the time of the elections. And I hate to make crazy predictions, but if Trump gets elected, we could have an $80,000, $85,000 Bitcoin within a couple days after Trump getting elected. Once we get above all-time high is when you're going to see the rocket ships gear up and take off for a lot of these altcoins. Even altcoins that don't even pump all that much. I mean, even if you hate some of these coins, if you hate Tron and you think it's a nothing, it's still going to probably 6, 7, 8, maybe 10x from here. So all of these coins on the top 50 are going to 10, 15, 20x. The question is at the end of the day is which one, did you pick the one that's going to 10x or did you pick the one that's going to 20, 30x? If you got in the Solana at $8 or $3 or whatever, I guess you got into one that's going to 20, 30, 40x if you bought at the bottom. Same with Theta. Cardano, will Cardano end up just being a 10x from its 23-cent low and going up to a few dollars? Or will Cardano go to $8 and get a 20, 30x? I don't know. I don't know with Cardano. I know we're going to get at least a 10x from the bottom, an 8 to 10x, but will Cardano get a 20, 30x? I don't know. I just don't know. And nobody knows. Anybody who tells you that they know, they're just guessing. And you can make a few guesses and then you're eventually right. But one of the things we knew for sure was Dogecoin with Donald Trump was going to do very, very well. I actually think Dogecoin, if Donald Trump gets elected, this all goes out the window if Donald Trump doesn't get elected. If Donald Trump gets elected, I think Dogecoin's got another 20x in it from right here. Maybe even more. I mean, it could be Doge, Bitcoin, Solana as like the top guys. You'll see a bunch of other coins, other meme coins pumping as well, and your gaming and all that stuff. But if we're seeing, if we're at Trump's inauguration and Elon Musk makes a freaking speech, he's wearing his dark MAGA hat, and he starts talking about Doge. There's also a dark MAGA coin, which I'm thinking about even buying a little bit of, and that's going to pump like crazy as well. I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot of play with these Elon Musk meme coins, but fuck, within 24 hours, Dogecoin is almost up 20%. And over the week, I mean, Dogecoin's probably up more like 30 or 40%. So you can't shit on that. I'd actually be buying more Dogecoin even over Solana right now if I'm just looking for a pumper. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. We'll see what happens. Things are looking good. Things are looking great. I'm really optimistic about what's going to happen with the elections and crypto. Everything's just gearing up. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I know a lot of you guys are bored out there. I'm bored out there. I'm not even following crypto half the time. Like, I didn't even know, honestly, I didn't even know Bitcoin hit $70,000. I just happened to see something on YouTube when I was scrolling through it. I was actually looking up something else on YouTube, and I just saw a thumbnail that said Bitcoin $70,000. I wasn't even looking at Bitcoin today. So, we're coming up to that time right now, less than a week before the elections, and I think kind of what Rand said and kind of what I've been saying, that the poly markets, the big whales, their eyes are like opening up right now, and they're like, oh shit, Trump's gonna probably get elected. Now's the time to get back into crypto, because if we don't do it, if we wait until after Trump gets elected, it's too late, and we're already at an $80,000 or $90,000 Bitcoin. What's the point of even buying Bitcoin then? So, and of course, like I said, all these altcoins are going to start going crazy once Bitcoin gets back to all-time high and reaches a little bit of a safe zone and just kind of hangs out. Then you're going to see alt season. We could be in alt season within the next couple of weeks. I don't like to make predictions, but I really think if Donald Trump gets elected, we're going to be there very, very soon. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.